First of all, I would like to know what you thought.
What did I think? I thought it was brilliant, actually.
Good. In what ways did you think it was brilliant?
I thought that they did a really good job at creating a different character for her. I know she's supposed to be Sherlock Holmes' sister, obviously.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of similarities there. But I was worried that they just were going to do, I don't know, like a woman version of Sherlock Holmes, or like that it would just be that but less good. I think that was the worry.
That was your fear.
And then it's going to be another thing of, another rubbish woman version of something, you know?
Right, so you thought it was going to be like Ghostbusters, the remake, or something like that.
So disappointed and upset by it. Yes, exactly.
But in actual fact,
it wasn't. It was great, and it had a lot more depth than it could have had as well.
Yeah.
I really like loads of the themes and issues that they tackled in it. I loved her character. I loved the mum's character. I thought that the whole concept was brilliant, actually.
Good. Yeah, I think that it was really... I didn't expect it to have much in the way of a coherent kind of message.
Yes, yeah.
And I think that they did really well to do it, not just, as you said, like a transpose a woman onto the original Sherlock character. They actually thought about what did they want to say. And
they also didn't make her like a girl as well, a little girl. Like that was also the worry that she would be overshadowed by her older siblings or...
Yeah, and it's a kind of a balancing act, I guess, on how much you put Sherlock in there.
Yeah. And I thought they actually did just the right amount. It was interesting how they were all estranged as well. But I think that also works because that's what allowed her to be a separate character. Because if it was all within the family dynamic, then she would have been very much under his wing, or perhaps, it's very hard as a younger sibling to not. So I thought that was a really, really clever kind of plot device to say, actually, they haven't seen her for however many years. They're all very separate and individual characters. Because otherwise I think it wouldn't have worked in the same way that it did.
I think it's interesting how, I think when the film was announced, there was a lot of, as you always get with these kinds of things, a lot of like Sherlock Holmes ultra fan people going, excuse me, Sherlock Holmes didn't actually have a sister. I don't know if you know that. It was not in the original source material. And it just makes me laugh because... Obviously,
I didn't realise Sherlock Holmes was a real person.
Yeah, exactly. In a fictional universe, you can do whatever you want. So why are they?
I know.
It's the same with you can't have a woman Bond. You can't have a black Bond. You can't do anything to anything that
isn't the norm.
That isn't the normal of what we expect.
It must be a white man.
So yeah, I think that was a really good thing. We want to hear what you guys think as well.
Yes.
I'm just trying to look. I'm just going to see if I can switch this to live chat in case that changed anything. But let us know what you thought about the film. Whether you thought that the themes were handled well, what you thought about the performances, what you thought about the costumes, what you thought about the scenery, the way they handled the kind of sidekick / love interest thing, which is always a bit of a dodgy tightrope to tread. How did you feel about that?
That was the first bit, and this is what as well really, really teaches you how these films are usually done. Because as soon as she met the boy, I was like, oh god, because you just think that you immediately think they're gonna team up or something, and like even though he needs her and she saves him, you just think, oh no, like he's going to be the love interest and then it's going to detract from her.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. I was like so glad that it didn't happen in that way. It was nice that they did allow them to sort of develop feelings for each other, but it wasn't just in that really like corny way.
I felt like they didn't have to even go that far.
I agree,
to be honest. I feel like so many times with these kinds of films, they make it feel like a quasi love interest. They don't have to. They can just have a friendship, and it doesn't have to be that kind of like, ooh, what's going on here kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And to some extent, I would say it detracts from the message of the film when you're trying to kind of crowbar in a romance.
Yes, and they could have just been friends that you can still care for a person and not want them to get killed without having to develop romantic feelings for them. But then they are both young, and I did like that. Like, I think that it was handled well. It was definitely better than I was expecting. I was a bit like worried at 1 or 2 points. I was like, oh no, don't. I loved it when she just abandoned him and said, oh, he's useless.
At that point when we were watching, Kate's like, oh God, thank God for that. I was worried that she was going to get kind of anchored down by this idiot, but now she's just completely jibbed him. It's great.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What did you think about the way that they handled the themes of feminism and empowerment, but also political activism, and the way that some people feel you have to act in order to achieve change?
I thought that was really good. I liked it that they obviously positioned the mum as this really progressive feminist thinker that never fitted the mould of the world, and I love the fact that she brought up her daughter to fit and be in the world that she wanted, like the world that she wanted. Not she didn't bring her up to fit into the current stupid world. She said, right, I'm going to help build this world for you, and I'm going to create you and give you all of the skills and the tools that you need in the world that we should live in, not the one we do live in. And I really like that. Obviously, like, it's heavily romanticized. It's a little bit like the Aaron Sorkin view of all of that. Yeah. So, like, I think that you have to sort of, I don't think you should overly think it, because if you start to overly think all of that, it's like, well, yeah, it's all very well and good when you have the money to do all of this and all of that, and there's a lot of people that in those times, the only thing you can do to get out of anything is to find a good husband who can actually afford to keep you, because you are kept as a woman. So, like,
as you know, the fact that you mentioned to me this week,
women in the UK couldn't legally have their own bank account until 1975. So there you have it.
I'm just going to quickly dive in with a couple of comments from the live chat. Kick it off with a semi-ambivalent one. Dave Chapman, I liked but didn't love. I think it's a film that bridges an age gap enjoyable to kids and adults. That was a lot of what was in the review, actually.
Oh, okay.
That it was kind of like almost a kid-centric film, but it had enough in there to engage adults. And I think that it's kind of unfair to label it as a kids' film, because I think there's definitely more to it than that. And it's not like a Toy Story of like all gags are in there for the parents as well.
Oh, yeah, no.
But I do see that it would also appeal to the younger age bracket.
Yeah.
David A says, really entertaining and thought the themes were handled well. I found the breaking of the fourth wall really drew me in. And we were trying to figure out on the Discord whether that happened in other instances of Sherlock recently, but I just don't remember, to be honest.
No.
Let us know if you can remember. Dan Hobbs says, I was concerned when Boy Met Girl began, but they were just on the side of acceptable for me. Agree should be able to not have a romantic twist.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I can't get any of the comments up because I don't know how to use YouTube on my phone.
How are we ever going to expect other people to do it?
On the big view of just us.
There you go.
I don't need to see that. Aha.
Birchie says, I really enjoyed it and was better than I was expecting it to be. Loved the deciphering bits. I really enjoyed the graphics overall, and I think that the way they handled it really well, I thought the way they handled it was very good. And one of the bits that actually I thought was the best, it was so simple, but when they changed the tangent of her goal, the protagonist's goal, from finding her mum to helping the Viscount, and they just did the tear off the page. I thought that was actually super effective,
really good,
really clever,
good. Really
and made me laugh.
Yeah, definitely, really good.
Gary says, interesting parallels between male privilege in this film and white privilege in other films we've seen recently. Yes. And I also think it was maybe a deliberate decision to put the person who had that kind of ideas speech as a black woman.
Definitely. Well, my favourite part of the whole film was when he called the mum and her antics as, like, was it mischief?
Yeah.
And the look that she gave him, like, us fighting for our rights and our life is for God's sake not mischief, and it was a really good.
Because I could tell that you bristled at that before she said the line, and then when she said the line, you were like,
yes, yeah.
And that was also the point in the film during that speech. You were like,
Yeah,
there was a lot of that going on.
There was a lot of that. Yeah, it was good.
Dave says sometimes you have to make some noise if you want to be heard, which was a line that Enola's mum said at the end, which also ties in really actually quite well and deceptively well into the two films we watched before this, and I didn't expect that to be the case.
No, it's very good. I think it's interesting as well how they chose in the film for the mum not to go through with, like, obviously they had some kind of plans, you know, they had been doing a few little bits here and there, some minor explosives, but nothing too major.
Some minor explosives,
nothing to worry about. But they never got pushed to doing it, and I think that's what would have taken the film into, maybe, as Dave was saying, he felt it was potentially a little bit like, although you could still do that for the younger age, but you know what I mean, they could have made it darker, they could have taken it further, and the mum could have been a lot more extremist, and because there is, you know, the valid point that sometimes you have to make noise to be heard, and it would have been interesting. I thought at one point, the bit at the end with the House of Lords, I thought he was going to go in there and then the mum was going to blow it up. I kind of wanted that to happen.
It must be one of those rare occasions where Chekhov's gun didn't get fired.
Yes, yeah.
When she pulled back the sheet and there's all these huge bombs and nothing
actually ever. Yeah, so I mean, is there going to be a second one? Is there, you know, what's the mum doing?
The sequel, both director and Millie Bobby Brown have said they want to do one.
That's cool.
But Netflix have not officially commissioned it, greenlit it.
Okay.
But that's also, you know, COVID can stop all these kind of decisions being made.
Yeah.
Malcolm says Cheryl opened her first bank account in 1974. So blazing a trail. Maybe I was wrong with my 1975 thing. I need to check. Was it 100% in her name? It probably was. I don't know. And MC says, on your question, the revolutionary feminists are a mixed bunch reclass, the tea shop woman and protagonist mother, so added to the money question. Which is an interesting point to make as well. Yeah,
that is interesting. And also, potentially a little bit misleading, because, again, this isn't supposed to be historically accurate, but from what we know of the suffragettes, that was a very, very white movement. It was feminism has historically been very white middle class, and it wouldn't have actually involved anyone of other colours and classes, because there was still that system of, we educated white women deserve the vote,
but the rest of you don't.
Like, no, maybe you can kind of hang on our coattails a bit if you want, but please don't drag us down. So I think that, like, it was more progressive, and again, like, it's not supposed to be historically accurate. But
excuse me, I don't think there were actually as many black women in the suffragette movement.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
I would like to wield a teapot as my weapon of choice. To be dangerous with a teapot is pretty fantastic.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Jason Bourne, dangerous with a book, as we know. David A says, I love the bit where Sherlock exclaimed "ha" when leaving the police station, when he was kind of like, he loved that she beat him to it.
Yeah, that was good.
Which was a nice little nod. Dan also said that was one of my favourite bits, and Dave Chapman also said that was one of my favourite bits.
That was good. I did think it was a bit of a crazy idea to go into the house, into the lion's lair, as it were, and they did almost both get killed at that point. The Enola and her mate.
As we said on the Discord chat, a nod to The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, and also Back to the Future 3 by proxy, because in Back to the Future 2, Biff is watching The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, which inspires Marty to wear the tea trays of bulletproof vest. End of Back to the Future section. Dan says, when he's going in and the guy tries to stop him and he just says, don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, that was brilliant. And
what was your...
Again, I felt like I said, it was so much that I said, oh, white man. But I feel like that's deliberate, you know, and it is like, don't be ridiculous, you know. Like, I always deserve to be in any room that I'm standing in, and I will not have you tell me otherwise. And that's just, you know.
It's also Sherlock's character, but I do get what you mean.
But it's also a little bit of a another look of Sherlock's character. But like, if you think about it, the Sherlock that we know, it's always like, oh, he's so brilliant, he's so intelligent, he's all this. But this kind of gave that thing of, and he's got all that privilege and he uses it, and he is, you know, and I quite like that actually it's a bit like, yeah, that is also how you get to be a character like that, because he's so supremely confident in himself, everything he says, there's no one with more self-belief than him, and you often have that if you're always told that everything you say and do is correct and you're, you know, made for big things. So
they're valid points. I think we're getting better chat on the YouTube than we are on the Instagram. It feels like there's more conversation
I think it's
going.
easier to do it and see it in a thread, and then I don't have to do big face.
We've had enough of big face.
We've had enough of big face.
David A says, what do we think of the Sherlock portrayal, given the Conan Doyle estate have sued for making him emotional?
What? The who? The who now?
The Conan Doyle estate. Now, this is something I did not know at all. So this is something that maybe we'll have to look into for the analysis/review email. They
sued what? For making the Sherlock Holmes character too emotional?
That's what David A is saying.
Wow. So they don't like at all where they took him, where they took the character. I mean, but the BBC series with Cabbage Patch, he's extremely emotional.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's interesting.
I think that people's, obviously Conan Doyle estate, disclaimer, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But people's feelings of ownership over fictional characters and universes is something that is completely bizarre, and I understand that these characters mean so much to a lot of people, but just because it's the way that you want it to be in your head doesn't mean that it's the way that everyone wants it to be in everyone's head. And it really is the sort of thing that you see in Star Wars and other things of that ilk, of you get like these fan people like review bombing and going, this isn't what it should be because it's not what's in my head. And it's just like, do that it winds me up. But I just feel like, let people tell their own stories, and if they want to use different characters to do that, who are you to stop them? So that would be my response to the Conan Doyle estate. Wind your necks in.
Or I'll come at you with a teapot.
Dan says it's quite easy to be dangerous with a teapot if it's full of boiling liquid.
That's actually very true, Dan. That's another thing that I often think about, but we won't go into that, the weirdness of my mind. Inanimate objects around the house being torture items. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not go there.
MC says, why didn't she blow up the House of Lords? They skirted around that issue. And Angela Kennedy said, I wish we'd seen some kind of action from the suffragettes. It was a bit smooth for me. The political changes came with such violence, and for women as a collective. Yeah. Yes. And I think they really could have leaned into that more. 100%. And also, it's kind of like building up the character of the mum, and she had all of these like secret plans and things going on, and then we never really saw that, and it was like, okay, like and I get, and then and that did feel a little bit like, oh, I want to watch them blow some shit up, but then, you know, at the end it sort of came across as, you know, the story is about Enola's going to be the one to change the world in her way. But her mum is still relevant, and those guys, I mean, like, you know, it's, Maybe it would be an interesting comparison piece to watch the film Suffragette. Yeah. With, God, what's her name?
I don't remember.
The woman, her face is on the cover. She's English. Yeah. She's got kind of a quirky name. Anyway, you know the film. Yeah. It would be interesting to watch that film as a comparison piece, because that also is a different portrayal of the same story, but much more from that perspective. MC says the action was individualised, not the group. Yes. And Dan says you would remember the name if it was a man. I'm not going to look it up now. You're going to remember it. I'm not going to remember. I'm going to keep my brain on it. So keep your thoughts coming in. We'd love to hear what you think about this film. Yeah. We are going to also do a write-up for the email, which will come on Wednesday. We have many issues with emails getting stuck in spam and promos and all of this kind of carry on. Yeah. So if you don't get an email on Wednesday, then we did send it. It's just gone into Gmail's bad Google boys hates box. Us. So that happened. Now, what would you like to do now? Do you want to do a Quizzy Rascal?
I don't know. Maybe put it to the people.
Okay. Well, what
See
emoji
what
should
people
people do?
If you would like to do the quiz, you have to do the sassy emoji.
What's that?
Obviously, you know what the
Not
sassy
everyone's
emoji
gonna
is.
know.
I did it. It's that one. You know, the lady or the man, but really the lady. She's more sassy.
Have you got your sassy mug?
Oh yeah. What, do you want me to go and get it? It's in the other room.
What?
I do have a sassy mug. Oh, what? Because it's got that emoji on it.
Yeah, it's got the emoji on it.
Fine, I'll get it for reference in case.
Now, what? It's in the other room?
Yes, the other room.
Okay, so the premise for Quizzy Rascal will be largely the same. I don't know how the emojis work on the YouTubes, but it will be that we come up with a question for you guys to answer, and you have to put the emoji and the answer all in one comment. And the emojis will look something like this.
That's the sassy emoji.
That is the sassy emoji. We have 4.
I don't know if that's enough. I feel like maybe, I don't know, we have to it has to get to 8.
8?
I don't know how many people are in the
Only
chat.
14 on the chat. 8 would be a majority.
Finding 6.
Okay, is this like 3 missed calls for a rewind that we would get
Yeah.
on pirate radio
Yeah.
in Slough?
Oh, we wanted to do your thing of the thingy, the wonky donkey at some point.
Oh,
Oh,
I really want to do
We'll
that.
have to do that next week. Oh.
I will think of a wonky
Yeah,
donkey
yeah.
to do for next week,
Yeah.
and I will explain it. And I can even use our new streaming platform to put it up on the screen with, I don't know, music and a countdown clock and everything. What I could do, even, I don't know if we can get people to call in on YouTube. I don't know if that's a thing.
I don't know.
Or we could just get people to call in
on the phone.
on our we've got that new pay-as-you-go sim.
Yes.
Just give that number.
Yes. That's exciting.
We have reached 6 emojis.
Okay.
I
We're
think.
doing it. We're doing it, Peter.
You're doing it, Peter. You're doing it. First question is, what film is that quote from?
Good question. And the emoji is, I was going to give it. The emoji is the rainbow emoji. If there is a rainbow
There
emoji.
is probably a rainbow
I think
emoji.
there is.
And to answer your question, Dave, why we have a burner phone is because you need to put your phone number in to create a YouTube account, and I'd already used my phone number too many times to create too many different YouTube accounts for our various side projects. So I had to sign up to GiftGaff to get a free pay-as-you-go SIM card,
And we had to put money on it.
which I then had to put money on, which really annoyed me. We already have an answer.
From Emily Birch.
Emily Birch, Rainbow and Hook. Now, what I would like to know is it Emily Birch on everybody's YouTube?
Ooh, I really
Because
hope
we
so.
could
Because
resolve
this
this.
is what we don't want anymore. Or we kind of like the controversy, but
I'm not the first king of controversy. I am the worst thing since Elvis Presley.
I don't know what that's from.
Shame. Also, big ups to Fabricati and Dave Chapman, who also got it right. Angela says you can't do emojis on YouTube. There's only about 15 of them.
Oh no.
And David A says can't search emojis.
Okay.
And Kieran Hayes says Eminem. So
Eminem.
Kieran needs to get some bonus points because that
he
was what
said-
the...
Oh, that was from the thing.
Yeah.
So Kieran, oh my gosh, I haven't got my pen and paper for Quizzy. Kieran gets 10 points. And Emily gets 15 points.
And Daisy Thompson says when she switched from TV to phone for YouTube, her phone was ahead, so it could cause syncing issues if some people are further ahead on the live.
Man alive. You know what? Quizzy is never without
It's never clear
controversy.
cut.
It's never clear cut. It's never clear cut. And it never will be. And we love it.
And David A also got Eminem, so I think David A should get some extra points as well.
And is David A smashing David?
Yes, I
Okay,
think
this
so.
is going to be so confusing for me.
Um,
So 5 points, and Kieran got 10 because he said it first.
There is also some discussion about how to do emoji searching.
Yeah, okay.
And Dan Hobbs says, is that like millennial colour blindness? Not being able to search emojis.
Yeah.
Okay, so who got the actual thing? Bertie.
Emily, and I gave
Kieran
her
got,
15
and Smashing
points.
David needs some points as well.
Yes, Smashing David and Kieran have both got bonus points.
Okay. The second question.
Bonus points.
Now, just because we're on YouTube doesn't mean we can have any of that. Henry Cavill played Sherlock Holmes in the film Enola Holmes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you got that far. You got that far. Which film did he star in that was directed by Guy Ritchie about a set of secret spies? Also starring Alicia Vikander. That's as much as I'm going to give away.
And I don't know what I should do for the emoji if there's not options. I'm going to give the one I'd like to see. I'll accept anything similar to or flair. The one I'd like to see is Tinkerbell.
Okay. Gary is telling people how to do emoji searching, saying go to your iPhone keypad for emojis rather than the YouTube search selection.
Well, I'm going to have to give him some points because there was a time where Gary couldn't even get an emoji on there for the entirety of Quizzy. So that's 10 points for Gazza right there.
And Daisy Tom said she had to make a new account with her Instagram name rather than the embarrassing one she set up at 16. Now, we have previously talked about embarrassing usernames from your teenage years, and I think that needs to come back.
I think that does need to come back. And everyone has to join
as their embarrassing first email or username. Dave Chapman was first with The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Bertie tried to spoil with the Tinkerbell.
Yes, but she didn't quite get it in time.
But she didn't quite get there. And Dave A also did long hair face emoji and a microphone. And I don't know really what you're driving at there.
Because that's maybe because I said you get flair points for flair emoji, so... You know.
But he also did get the answer, but not in the same message. So it doesn't count for anything, I'm afraid.
Dave Chaps, you have done well. You have worked your way up from -15 to 10.
Wow.
So he could actually be close to the lead if he didn't have such a bad start.
That'll teach you to badmouth.
That'll teach you to badmouth. He should go to finishing school for good boys.
David A says, God knows what it is, I panicked. You backed me into a corner, I acted. You lied, David. It's full of acting.
Oh, is that like from The Office or something?
It's from The Office. You can get some movie points.
Always The Office with you.
Okay, next question. Sam Claflin played Mycroft Holmes in the film. Now, I want to know which film he starred in alongside Jennifer Lawrence. You don't know this because I didn't say it when we were watching.
I didn't recognise him.
I know, and I said, do you recognise Mycroft? And you said, nope. And then we left it at that.
Because he had the moustache, such a good disguise. The emoji is any dog emoji.
Okay. Malcolm wants to know if he's got the Tinkerbell emoji correct.
Yes. That is Tinkerbell. Well done, Uncle Malcolm.
Nailed it.
You found her.
Nailed it. And Dave Chapman has once again done it.
Whoa!
I think Dave Chapman is the Catherine Ashling of YouTube.
He is. He is storming up.
Daisy Tom's also got there very soon after. Bertie tried to do a spoiler, and David A.
David A. So good with the spoilers.
And Dan Hobbs went for Mockingjay, which also would have been correct.
Oh, because it's
didn't
like
specify part 1 or part 2 though, so not technically the name of the film.
Oh my god.
Excuse me, you got the name of the film wrong. There is some occasion that the emojis are ahead. Oh, sorry, the emojis are more accurate on this.
Okay, that's good. That is good. What are you doing?
I'm
for your next question.
Yes, I'm looking for the next question because I haven't thought of any questions while I was doing the thing. I have to think of them on the spot, don't I?
Or you could just prepare.
How can I prepare? Okay.
How could I prepare?
How can I possibly prepare for this? Helena Bonham Carter.
Yes, love her.
I
love where you're going with this.
Was in this film.
Yep.
Now, I want to know. I'm not going to go for the obvious thing. I want to know the name. Oh, I don't know how convoluted to make this.
Not too much. Come on, it's got to be at least somewhat gettable.
Okay.
Okay, or you do a hard one and I'll make it big points. 30 points.
She, in another film, she played an evil character that killed someone by pushing them through a door.
Must have been a bad door.
Well, really bad door. What was the name of the actor who played the character that she killed?
Wow.
Yep.
Woo!
Yep, it's one of them.
Emoji is... A lightning bolt.
I like what you've done there. I like what you've done there a lot. Now
we wait.
Now we play the waiting game.
Any answer? What? What?
Well, I think that David A should get bonus points because he said Gary Old Man.
That's good.
Because it's actually his actual name,
That is his
and he
actual
got
name.
his name. The name he uses is a stage name.
Yeah.
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 So.
Did he get the emoji?
No.
Has anyone
The first
got the
person
emoji?
to get. Oh, he did actually eventually.
Right.
MC said Gary Oldman earlier.
Right.
So.
Who's MC? Malcolm.
No.
Malcolm.
No.
No, because he's MS.
I think you've lost the plot.
What's the plot?
I think maybe MC should get some points.
Okay, but who's MC on my list?
I don't know. Just put them in as a new one.
MC. But if you are someone else, let us know.
Let us know what your real name is.
Oh, and that was for a lot. That was for 30 points.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh well, no, I
30
don't know. Only half points because they didn't get the
wasn't a
emoji
full
as well.
thing. Okay, so 15.
And David A should get some points for getting the correct name.
Okay. 15.
Also 15.
Woo!
Big points on offer, and this is the last question. How many points is it for?
This one, 50.
And this is going to be hard as nails.
Okay.
Nails is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
If you get this, you deserve the 50 points, and if nobody gets it, I'm going to do a backup question.
Okay.
So the guy who played Lestrade is called Adil Akhtar. He was in a Channel 4 series that was so harrowing that we had to stop watching it after about 3 episodes because it was just grim. Name that Channel 4 series.
I'm just going to go for the emoji of a shocked face because that's how I was
That's
watching.
how shocked you were when we watched it.
Yeah, any shocked face, you know.
Artemis Amazon says, made it onto chat at last.
I know who that is.
FYI, it's Angie.
It's
When I was
Angie.
using Gmail, Artemis Amazon Warrior Queen. Did she get any points for that?
For her,
For
I
her
mean,
secret Gmail name?
that's got to be 10 points. And now she's on the board. That's brilliant.
We have spoiler emojis in early doors.
Early doors.
Emily, Trethers,
Ooh.
Asia,
Big,
David
big
A,
with the
all
spoilers,
spoiling it.
big with
Kieran
the
said
spoilers.
skins, which is incorrect. We're not that.
We're not that scared of
We're not that
drugs.
scared of skins. So I don't think anyone's going to get it.
It's
really
quite
hard.
a tough one to get. You'll know it though when we.
But
say
that's
it.
how 50 points. I don't think the next one should be worth 50 points.
Fine.
I'm
The
sorry.
next one's 25.
That's fair.
Were we giving points to people for the spoilers? So who?
No.
It's just for spoiler.
No.
Okay. You just do it for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Because you're a maverick.
Yeah. The one with Robbie Coltrane in. I don't think it did have Robbie Coltrane in, actually. At least it didn't up at the point that we watched it.
Yeah, we only did not.
Okay, I'm calling a moratorium on that question. It was Utopia. And I would recommend it if you have the stomach for it.
If you want to just be depressed and
'Cause it is
quite scared.
Grim. And in the
Yeah.
first episode, that character gets his eye carved out with a spoon.
Oh.
And it's awful.
Yeah.
It's bad news.
Yeah.
What was the movie with Gary Oldman? I'm glad you asked, Asia. It was Harry Potter and the
I don't know which one.
Half-Blood Prince?
Yeah, probably that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Where Helena Bonham Carter played Bellatrix Lestrange and Gary Oldman played Sirius Black. Now, last question. Harry Bradbeer was the director of Enola Holmes. He was also the director of a little-known TV show called Fleabag. I want to know the connection between Fleabag and Enola Holmes.
I think I know what it is. And the emoji is... Oh, that might be too obvious. That could give the answer. The emoji is the apple. Just that's the first thing that came to my head because I was going to do one.
MC said they had to stop watching Utopia as well.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
a hard watch.
It is a hard watch.
And we have Order of the Phoenix. Dave said it's the same director. I mean, you're trying to be fancy pants there. You're incorrect. It's not what I was thinking. It's good, but it's not right. Composer, no. But went to public school. You're probably right.
That, bro, yeah.
No, I'm and if no gets it, I'm going to offer it up to you.
Because I don't know.
Because you don't know the answer, because it just was a thing that came into my head. And Dan says of the eye spoon, like a yogurt. So I think
of the eye. I don't
of
get
the
it.
eye spoon, eye gouging.
Gosh, no.
I'm going to give you maybe 10 more seconds to get it, and then I'm going to offer it to Katie. And this is for 30 points for you.
Ooh, I'm not even on the board. Well, I never get a chance.
Bertie said Phoebe Waller-Bridge, not connected to Holmes.
I thought that was going to be my guess, that she maybe did some writing on Holmes.
Not connected to Holmes.
Big time. Oh, I don't know then.
That was your guess?
Yeah, that would be my guess. So I was going to do the pen emoji.
It's quite convoluted, and I'm worried I've done too much here.
Well, just, share it with the group. I don't think we're going to get it.
Okay, the answer I was looking for was Andrew Scott.
Okay.
He played Sexy Priest in Fleabag Series 2 and Mycroft Holmes in the BBC series Sherlock.
I was thinking that it was that you were relating it to
Enola,
not the
Holmes.
Entire Sherlock franchise.
That's where my brain was. I'm sorry, guys. I may have let you down.
No, it's good. That was a good connection. Yeah. Oh, the Sexy Priest. He was good.
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah. So, thus concludes Quizzy Rascal. Where are we at?
With the scores on the doors?
He's not Mycroft, he's the other one. You're right. He's Moriarty.
Yeah, Moriarty. Yeah.
And that wasn't in... He's kind of connected to Holmes. I'm still saying the question's valid.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
And I've got Fabricated saying, excuse me, he was Moriarty in the BBC series Holmes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you got it wrong. This is what happens when you don't prepare your questions.
You are correct.
Yep.
Okay, tell me what the scores are.
Well, we've still got Amy winning with 55 leaders.
David A says minus 600 points for me.
Yeah, I think that's true. Minus 600. Work your way up from that. Smashing David is on 30 points. Sorry. My maths is terrible. 30 points.
Yeah.
Dave Chaps has actually literally crawled out of his own grave.
Like Batman crawling out of the pit.
And he's on 20.
Mm-hmm.
Trethers is on 30. So
she's
killing
it. Is Trethers using Kieran's YouTube account? But no, she was on here, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, they're both on.
She didn't get any points that week, but she's still, she's
still doing well.
So she's doing well. And then we've got sort of a bunch of people around the 10 to 15 mark.
But they don't deserve naming.
They don't deserve. There's too much. There's too many. Yeah. And then MC on the board with 15. But we don't know who MC is.
MC, the mysterious MC.
Mysterious MC.
Maybe it's a famous MC.
Probably.
Could be.
Yeah. I think that's the most likely.
If you're Rich 32, let us know. So that's just about it for us.
Yes.
But we will be back.
We'll be back.
In POG form.
In POG form?
Don't worry about it. And we will have our announcement of the films that we will be doing the vote for. Should we open this vote early?
I think so.
I think we should do a special announcement of what one of the films is going to be in this vote.
Of what now?
For next week's vote.
Okay.
Just to reward everybody.
Yeah, for staying with us.
I would love to know what the hieroglyphs on the back of the notepad are. It's killing me. And Tretta said she is here, but she had to sign up to YouTube and get the app. Well, let me look at the hieroglyphs. Ah, yes. There is a story behind that.
There is a story behind this if you'd like to know.
Wow, it's going to be real bonus features for the people. Okay, bonus feature number 1. What are the hieroglyphs?
The hieroglyphs, which are just basically me, because this is a squared piece of paper. I don't know if you can see that. And I fill in the squares and do crosses because I'm an avid doodler. Was when we did Anne, it was kind of like an escape room thing, but you do it on Zoom because of COVID. And it was 4 of us, me and John, and Amy and Ben, who are always on the chat. And you each had like a different job to do, and then there was like an actor person who kind of leads the whole thing. And it's really good. You're like sent all these documents on Google Drive, and you played the group who sit in the van who are helping out a spy that's trying to complete a mission. Yeah, that's a better way of explaining it. Yeah.
And Katie was
the researcher,
doing loads of brain doodles. Brain doodles
for the whole time.
Yeah, so that's the hieroglyphs.
On to the next.
Now, the special bonus feature number 2 is, so next week we're doing Feel Good and Comedy Week. Mm-hmm. And one of the films that we have picked is going to be a Netflix premiere that is released on the 11th of December called The Prom, starring a galaxy of stars, as they say. Meryl Streep, James Corden.
Yeah, he's a bit right. But there's loads of them.
Keegan-Michael Key. Bunch of other people.
Was it Nicole Kidman as well?
Nicole Kidman's in it.
Yeah.
So it's got an incredible cast, and people said that it was going to be really good. We watched the trailer and weren't 100% convinced, but we thought put it up to a vote, and the fact that it's out on that day, we'll stick it in the vote. Yeah. So that's not going to get announced to anybody else apart from you.
But we want the trailer looked like kind of like, okay, it's a comedy thing, but people have been saying that it's going to be nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. Watch the trailer. If you want to take a punt on it, you can vote for it.
Yeah.
And the vote will be open soon. Soon. And it will close on Friday at 10 as always. Dave says he'll put on his best suit for the premiere. Kieran wants Avatar for next week. Avatar will not be on next week's vote, I'm afraid. It's neither feel good nor a comedy. Also, nobody who's ever watched it can remember anything that happened in it, other than it mirrored the plot of Pocahontas.
Yes.
But that's just about all we've got time for tonight.
And please leave us feedback, because if some people had trouble getting to YouTube,
we would like honest feedback about the YouTube experience.
Yeah, and how we can make the links better and easier, because it's a bit different.
And if you'd like any extra fancy bits on the screen, any graphics or things we could do like that, let us know if you've got any ideas.
And also maybe subscribe to the channel, because...
Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We should do 2 minutes of that at the start of every video. Hey, what's up, guys? This is John and Katie. We're from the movie club. First of all, don't forget to like and subscribe. All of that nonsense. So yeah, please do actually like and subscribe.
Yeah, so we don't.
If we get to 100, we can rename our link, so we can say we're youtube.com/tsmovieclub.
Oh, really?
So it would actually be useful.
100 is lofty.
It's a lofty goal. Lofty. 14 of you are gonna have to
multiply.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much to everybody for staying on to watch.
Yes.
We had a great time, and please keep your thoughts in on Enola Holmes. Look out for the email on Wednesday, and we'll be back on Friday with a feel